Sorry, guys. I moved away for like 1 hour to the other side, so
You changed time zones?
yeah. Big mistake on my part. Anywho, this is going to be a short meeting anyways. So on my end, in terms of devs sync, our delegations have been merged, so that's good. I worked a bit to add new virtual operations to track some conversions, like when you transfer Hive to the decentralized Hive fund, you end up converting that instantly. And so back then, the conversion rate was not registered. It's also important for the new balanced object thingy that you guys are working on. So that's done-ish. I just need to add the unit tests and we should be good. I also added the missed block operation VOP. So that's good. Meanwhile, I started working on a Hive mind. I finished a first challenge to update the props of a community to set its type. For those who don't remember, the type is basically what sets if it's everyone can post, only members can post, or only members can post in comments. Although that logic has not been done yet, but that's like next thing I'm gonna work on. Speaking of which, I don't think I saw any pipeline which runs like unit test or stuff. Is that, did I miss it or is that not done?
You talking about unit tests for HiveMind?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's regression tests. Are you looking for something other than the regression tests?
Not like just any kind of automated test that I should be aware of to
Oh
work
yeah,
on.
there's definitely automated tests for HiveMind. I don't know who would be the best to assist you with that. Bartek, can you suggest who he should talk to?
Actually, I should look into more details to see what kind of tests do you plan to add, and actually,
Well, I think he's asking about which ones we have now.
What we have now. Now we have a lot of tests related to API calls, and such tests are pattern-based and performing JSON requests to the freshly synchronized HiveMind instance, and next querying for several API calls of a given instance. So this process covers testing, of course, of whole synchronization part of HiveMind up to 5 million blocks because of time limitations. And next, by querying by JSON requests using prepared set of test suite. Such tests are created in HiveMind repository under tests directory, and Tavern framework is used to spawn all of them and verify correctness of execution by comparing retrieved responses to patterns being defined in the repository. So I'm not sure what problem do you have there, and what
I think he didn't see the tests, and he just didn't know how they worked. So
the general idea is to cover closest scenario as we can see at production. So we have HiveMind, which is first synchronized using a massive way. Next, it enters live sync mode, and few blocks are defined artificially, just also to create some environment for dedicated tests. And finally, given HiveMind instance is queried for queried using API requests to claim that collected data are correct.
Okay, so how does that make sense? Do you understand how the tests are set up?
Yeah, I see. I think I'll probably try a bunch of things, and you'll probably tell me which test I haven't covered yet in the merge request anyways, I assume. Bartek, you're still the code owner for HiveMind as well, right?
Yes, that seems so, that I'm owner of this repository.
Okay, I guess I'll deal with you on HiveMind as well, I guess. But yeah, okay. I spoke a bit with Gandalf on the testnets, but I haven't had the time to look into it yet. And that's about it for me.
Okay. Let's see. So we've been working on, I guess, several different things. Half is still probably our biggest focus. So one of the things we've been focusing on lately is basically making it easier for somebody to set up a half server. So Bartek in particular has been working on writing scripts, and Gandalf's been helping as well. Scripts for, and I've been verifying, for setting up a half server basically from scratch. So there's actually several different scripts, and then there's like a superscript that runs those subscripts. So the subscripts, there's like a subscript to set up Postgres. There's a subscript to configure, to install Postgres, to just configure the database, just various different subscripts. And there's a top level script you can run called setup half instance, which will literally do everything, starting from basically a plain vanilla system. It'll install all the prerequisites needed by half, and actually even you can even have it set up and start running half. So I think, in Watsi, have you had a chance to try that script out yet? I don't know if I don't know if you've had a chance to even try it yet. It just got merged recently into develop. So
yes, I did try it out and it worked. And so I do have a testnet up now in HAF testnet. I don't have that many accounts on it yet. I'm still busy setting up so I can run my own test. But if anyone wants to use it, I think I can make it public.
Oh, cool. Okay, excellent. Let's see. So that's so in my tests, I'm running on a fairly fast machine, and I think it takes about 12 hours to fully process all 60 million blocks and index and everything. So pretty good on the whole. I'm pretty happy with it. The other thing we've been working on is we got continuous integration set up for half of the half account history plugin that will replace the account history nodes. And so CI is working for it now. And during that process, of course, setting up tests, we found more bugs, which we fixed. So at this point, we're down to just 2 issues that are different between the account history plugin and the half account history, which is related to error return values. In the case of, like, if you ask for more operations, then it can supply in one go. The old account history has this kind of weird error that it throws to tell the client that it needs to make another call to fetch more data. And so we've got to figure out how we want to handle that, because the new account history, the half account history plugin, is much faster than the account history plugin, especially for filtering, which is where this comes up, for filtering of operations. So I'm thinking we should just increase the limit. I think the limit right now is maybe 2,000 operations that will return at a time. And back when we started, that was set to 10,000, but we'd found that 10,000 was just putting too much load on account history node itself, CPU load. And now that it's no longer loading the CPU, and the fact that it's also faster, I'm thinking we can bump up that whole value as far as how many operations can be fetched in a single go, but that still needs to be checked. Let's see. We also made some changes to the way virtual operation IDs were stored for the account history, for the half account history plugin, and we think that's also going to give us a little more speed up. So we need to benchmark that soon. I guess just in passing, I have done a ton of benchmarking of half itself. That's where that 12 hours number came from, but I've been testing under various systems and loads. And the only thing I want to test, it still won't have one test I want to perform, which is testing it on just a single dual NVMe system, just to see how. Well, probably we'll just do a dual, because we need about 4 terabytes anyways, and it's more likely to set up 2 2 NVMEs to get a 4 terabyte system right now. You can find 4 terabyte NVMEs out there, but they're kind of rare. So I think it's more likely people are going to run it in a 2 RAID configuration. Let's see what else. We did some work on RCs, helping out Hao and his work. We're kind of holding off on doing anything more on the RC costing side of things right now, because one of the things we saw recently during high traffic was that the block time offset starts increasing, and we want to go find out why that's happening. I have a theory it's related to the peer-to-peer network and then the locking mechanism to the blockchain. I think there's some problems in the way the blockchain locking is done, and that's been on my list of things to fix. Anyway, so I think in the coming month we're going to tackle that once we free up from some other stuff, and so then we'll go back to the RC costing analysis after that, because really the RC costing analysis is supposed to be capturing what's expensive, and it's not really explaining why we're seeing this block time offset increasing under traffic loads. So I think we need to, Andre suggests that we really need to understand that, and I think he's right, before we go ahead and make any changes to the RC costing itself. What else? A while back we did some speed ups to serialization of JSON data for API calls. That's had 2 benefits. Well, mainly it speeded up the API speed, and we also decided to try to look at how to do a couple more improvements there in another part of the conversion process, the serialization. But that looks like it's more work than we want to tackle now, so we're going to back off on that one and come back to it later. We can do that after the hard fork because it's not a hard fork related change. So basically at this point, I think the earliest we can do the hard fork is going to be the end of March. And that's an aggressive schedule because of some changes I still want to get in. We've done most everything we want in terms of the hard fork now, but except for one change, and that's to prove finality. And that's what I want to tackle in the next month. And because that's kind of, I want to give at least a full month for testing. So that's why I say I think the end of March is the fastest we can really do the hard fork at this point. Also, one more change that I forgot to mention. We made the change. There was originally a rule that you could only change an owner key, the keys once per hour. And that caused some issues for, like, if you want to do very secure key changing. And so now we made the code change to allow 2 key changes per hour. What else? There's been a lot more Half documentation. At this point, Half, I think, is really ready for people to start seriously trying out. So we're going to, I think the next thing we're going to do is deploy a Half account history node and swap it in soon to be live on our production system. So we'll be able to test it in a production environment. So that's pretty much it for me.
Cool. Super exciting.
A lot of different stuff.
Yeah, I know. I mean,
I'm going to be back in just a second. I'll catch you guys in a second.
Yeah, I guess the next topic is with Gandalf mostly anyways. So could you summarize what the testnet setup is looking like now? Because from what I understood, we have like the witness part done, but not a full node, quote unquote, right?
For the mirrornet, right?
Sorry?
No, I think he's just saying, you know, he's got witnesses, but not like a API node.
Yeah.
Yes, but that's for the mirrornet, because for just regular simple testnet, we have all components running.
Okay,
but,
cool.
Yeah, but it satisfies almost everyone, just not you, because you're working on RC, and RC needs mainnet.
Yeah,
and yes, and it's just consensus node and the witness producing blocks. And today I was trying to make it running with a node-based converter, but there are still some issues. I'll try to resolve them tomorrow with other devs.
Okay, sounds good. Well, we have time. Still,
Yes. Of course, if someone needs to start some parts of the API node, like limited account history node, it's okay to do that. But for now, I'm not running anything bigger until we solve those issues with node-based converter.
Yeah, okay, sounds good. Well, in any case, it's like the we can, since hard fork is due to March and we are barely in February, we should be fine to oh, it's in 2 months though.
It's not too long.
I was looking through my calendar, I was like, oh, wait a minute. But yeah, I mean, if we can get like a first public testnet in like a month, we will be still have plenty of time to let everyone integrate with it. So it's not like there is a huge rush. So yeah, just keep me updated, and I'll publish like a guide on how to use RC delegations on the testnets. Oh, I need to update the libraries as well. I'll do that in the coming weeks, I guess.
Yeah, that's going to be important.
Well, I guess technically it's already supported because they support custom JSON, but I think a lot of people are going to use it, and getting wrappers around it would be useful.
Yeah, I think so.
But yeah, and then so yeah, for the final thing, it's basically something that keeps coming back to me. Is people want to transfer their claimed account tokens, and I know we spoke about this like 3 times. But yeah, long story short, I'm warming up to that idea. Basically, for those listeners who do not follow everything, the whole idea is like, if you allow people to transfer delegation account creation tokens, it basically gives it a value, and so everyone will start claiming it, and so the RC cost for claiming account tokens will go through the roof, and as a result, the project who actually need it won't be able to claim any tokens anymore. But on the other hand, even right now, a lot of people are claiming it if they can, and a lot of account tokens are just like sitting while the actual projects onboarding people cannot onboard people because they don't have the accounts.
Yeah, see, I'm actually the opposite view.
Ooh.
I not only think they shouldn't be transferable, I don't think we should have them at all.
Oh yeah,
I think
forgot you have this.
I think they're just a big boondoggle to reward big stakeholders with these free tokens, from my point of view. So I mean, I do not see the need to make them transferable and make more money for large stakeholders to have them, because effectively these things are only claimable by large stakeholders because the RC costs are so high.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, wouldn't it possible to allow creation of an account using your claim ticket, but at the creation time to change the recovery account or to define another recovery account?
I think you can define any recovery account when you create it.
Yeah, I think so.
It's possible now to do that
at creation time. So the goal is to create a new account on behalf of someone else.
Oh, you mean use someone else's account creation tokens?
No. If I create an account using a ticket, I become de facto the recovery account of that new account.
I don't think that's true.
Yes, creator is by default recovery account.
But can't you specify the recovery? You can specify another recovery account, right?
I don't think so at creation time.
For account creation.
Jeez, why?
You can set it
Okay,
later on. Because the default worked fine when there was a main creator for the.
You mean when there's only one
account? Yeah. So before Steemit Incorporated decided to sell this huge pile of funds that were supposed to be for development fund and creating new accounts, and they attempt to figure out a way how to not spend money on creating an account, which they promised. Oh, it's recorded in public. Sorry.
Yeah. Anyways, I don't know. I'm not so Archange's question is, I guess, a separate question, which is, I think he's asking if we could make it so there's a different recovery account at creation time,
But
and I had
not-
no idea that it was pinned to a particular one anyways. So
But I think that unnecessary burden. I mean, anyone can create securely account for other people just by using provided public set of public key, and the next
Yes.
action could be just setting recovery agent, which it's not insecure because recovery agent doesn't have any special power other than
yes, you
just
can't claim the
helping
account.
to
It just
recover.
help out
Yes,
the other
yes,
person.
yes.
Yeah, I agree.
So all those people who have a huge pile of claimants tokens can help with creation, but I don't think we should put value to this. I mean,
Okay, so
from the
so
beginning,
GP
it should.
Guilty Party's pointing out one issue, which is if you change the recovery count afterwards, it takes 30 days.
Yes. Yes, that's
So
Which
the problem. That for 30 days it won't.
you won't have a you won't have a recovery agent.
Yes, you have crippled your recovery.
Yeah. Well,
mean, yeah.
still, I'm not sure this is a critical feature, and frankly, I don't even like the feature at all. So I'm not sure I want to devote effort to this. But if somebody else wants to tackle it, if somebody wants to change it so that you can specify a recovery agent, I don't see any problem with it. I just don't think
yeah,
it's
I'll
worth doing.
probably do it for Hard Fork 27 or something.
Yeah.
It's a small quality of life that may be useful for a lot of like I
For the
imagine
creation
large
services. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Because it gives them a lot of power. So I mean, not that much, but still, it would be nice to have.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it gives anyone power. It's an inconvenience for the newly created account if they want
Yeah,
a
exactly.
different recovery agent, and that's.
But yeah, on the RC transfers, I mean the token transfers, I kind of agree with you. To be fair, it's just that it keeps coming back up. So I feel like I would just make a post so that people can debate on it, and if truly
Yeah,
the
I think
community wants it,
I think that's
then we'll
fine.
see.
Yeah, I mean, my guess is the people who are using them are the ones who want them.
Surprising. But yeah, worst case, we could also think of like a scheme where to transfer them, there is like a big burden on it, which would kind of effectively kill a market, where you'd have to burn Hive or something.
Yeah, I mean, but there's already a great way to burn Hive, which is paying for accounts the normal way.
Very true. But yeah, we'll see. And that's all I have for today. Do you guys have anything else?
I got a question or suggestion from someone asking why don't we reduce top 20 witness remuneration and rewards API nodes operators. I'm not sure that's something we can implement at a core level.
Yeah, I don't know how to do that.
But
yeah, that's more of a.
I'm just throwing the idea here.
Yeah, it's problematic from a lot of points. We don't really know there's no blockchain level way to really even know who's running an API node, so we can't really reward them as such. I think this would have to be, yeah, right. It would have to be DHF or something like that. Is why you'd have to do something like that.
Which, to be fair, kind of worked for Deathwing, so there is a precedent here.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely workable. There's no doubt. I don't think it's a problem we have. I think right now we probably have more API nodes than we, performance-wise, we absolutely need. I mean, we've got an abundance of API nodes. I mean, not that that's a bad thing, but I don't think we need to particularly incentivize it at the moment.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, but the DHF could be a good solution, indeed.
Yeah, fair.
Okay.
Okay. Well, have a nice day, everyone, and see you in 2 weeks.
Thanks,
Wow,
guys.
that was fast. Thank you.
I'm trying to save your time. Go work on the
Okay.
testnets.
Bye.
Happy Chinese
Bye,
New Year.
guys. Bye.
Bye.